is Frank Vogel. So Russell Westbrook's relationship with Frank Vogel, did he touch on that at all?
Well, what he's talked about is what Frank Vogel has asked of him, he said, has changed, evolved as personnel has evolved on the court. Just like a lot of teams, they've had players in and out. AD's been out with an injury, COVID. And so, Russell Westbrook's focus is on trying to work with Vogel, the coaching staff, to figure it out. And listen, he's drawing on the fact that he had to do that last year in Washington. You saw a team that played much better in the second half. In Houston, they played much better late in that season, and he had an injury in the bubble that might have derailed them. They were playing well. He was playing well there, and that he's going to figure it out. That history tells him that he is. And I think with Frank Vogel, and I think for Westbrook, it's he understands he's going to be judged on winning with the Lakers, and that's how you are judged in LA. Not about stats, and it's not about numbers. And listen, I think he understands. I think it's very clear to him that he's got to find a way to complement LeBron James, AD. And I think for him, getting AD back on the floor, getting the three of them there together, and hopefully AD's back by the end of the month, they can really start speeding up that process.
Richard, what are you seeing from the way Frank Vogel is coaching Russell Westbrook and their relationship there?
Well, I think he's trying to figure it out. And Russ, he was talking about he didn't really understand it, but, he supports. And cooperation was it for comprehend. You don't have to comprehend something in order to cooperate. Excuse me. And so my point is, just because he doesn't understand doesn't mean he's not going to cooperate. And so Woj says he's doing every single thing that the Lakers are asking of him. The only issue is that every single thing that the Lakers are trying. I remember at the beginning of the season, they were playing Rondo and him. And then they were like, okay, no, that's not going to work. And then they completely stopped playing Rondo. A lot of it was because of the injuries. But I think right now, when I look at Russell, I think to Perk's point, he is a person that's trying to figure it out. And he is an elite superstar in this league. He is a former MVP that is on his fourth team in 4 years, and the first 40 games have not gone well. But for anybody to question Frank Vogel for sitting someone the last 4 minutes that was 5 for 17, and he's done that, let's see, he's probably had 10, 12 games like that. And so for Frank to be like, okay, listen, just sit for the next 5 minutes. Let's see if we can figure this out. Let's see if we can do it. That's what you need to do. Frank is judged by winning. It's not just by coaching Russell and how his relationship is with Russell. His job is to coach the entire team and to coach the Lakers.
Well, we did hear him in his interview with you, Adrian, take some accountability, right, for how things are going. What did he say about riding out these tough times, though?
Well, he's been through this. And again, you look at his career and the consistency he had in Oklahoma City, and, Perk knows this. It was an organization that was run, very consistently year after year. And all of a sudden, he goes to a Houston team that was really a polar opposite of OKC, more freewheeling, more player-driven, run by James Harden, to Washington last year with a lot of injuries earlier. And then he and Bradley Beal, pull that team out of the basement of the East to get them toward the postseason. And so it takes time. And I think for him, he's just hoping, listen, he's hoping that this can be what they all dreamed it would, which would be a championship contender. He knows that's all you're judged on in LA. Whether this team's going to be good enough or not, we can argue that. I think this team's got a lot of structural obstacles to keep it from putting it at the very top. But I think there's still a belief with a healthy LeBron James and a healthy Anthony Davis in the postseason. I think there's still a belief with Russell Westbrook that he can play a role with them, that they could still be a very dangerous team in the spring.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.